It's a messy, messy situation. This is why you do not want to do this at the table. Hi, my name is Barrett. I am here in the New York Times cooking studio today to talk to you about turkey. I have made hundreds of turkeys as a food stylist, and I've done basically everything you can imagine to them. Today we're just going to talk about making it less stressful, making it beautiful, making sure your guests enjoy it and you enjoy it, because it shouldn't be that hard. A lot of people, when they cook their turkey, want to just immediately bring it out to the table and present it all garnished, whole. But carving a turkey at a table is a disaster. It never works out great. You can show it to your guests as you cook it, but please take it back in the kitchen to cut it up. It is scary breaking down a turkey, but it's basically just a big chicken. So if you've ever broken down a chicken before, you can do this. It's not that hard, and I'm gonna show you. As a food stylist, I make a million turkeys for work. I've kind of come up with my favorite way to do it over the years, and the main thing is easy. I love easy. I want to spend time with my guests at Thanksgiving. I don't want to screw around in the kitchen forever. The first thing you want to do is take the legs and the wings off. For the breast, you've got a bone that runs right down the middle. You're going to want to cut on either side of that. So you've taken your turkey out of the oven. It needs to rest for a little bit because you're going to cut into it. You don't want to burn your hands. If you're really wanting to get into it when it's still hot, you can wear like vinyl gloves, even like 2 pairs, that'll help. While your turkey's coming to temperature and resting a little bit, all those juices are soaking back in, you can get your stuff ready. You need a big cutting board, a very sharp knife. That's gonna help you immensely. If you don't have sharp knives, sharpen them now. It'll help you with everything. And some cooking shears. All right, our turkey has rested for about 30 minutes. I'm gonna move it to the board. You don't wanna damage your knife by cutting it on the sheet pan. Remove the twine from the legs. The first thing you want to do is take the legs and thighs off. You're just gonna follow the natural line that is made between the leg and the breast. And a sharp knife will help. You just cut right down. It's gonna be juicy, it's gonna be messy. After you cut that bit of skin, we can just pull this down and then you'll be able to see that joint in there. And that's where you wanna cut. The oyster is right down here, if you can kind of get around that a little bit, because that's a nice meaty bit. But then you can just cut right through that joint. Always look for the joint and you're good to go. There you go. And we're just gonna do the same thing on the other side. So once you've separated that skin, you are gonna try to find the joint. Just be careful, don't cut yourself. You're not gonna try to cut through any bones. Your whole leg and thigh should come off in one nice big piece. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do after we've taken the legs and thighs off, we're gonna take the wings off. You're gonna follow this bone. Pop it open. Do it again on the other side. There's our joint. Don't be afraid to like flip everything around. All right. Now we are just left with our breasts. For the breasts, you've got a bone that runs right down the middle. You're gonna wanna cut on either side of that to release the breast from the bone. Just gonna follow the bone down, but you do want to try to keep it in one nice big piece if you can, and you can just slowly work your way down. I kind of separate it with the knife as I go. You know, you just have to follow where the turkey's telling you to go. There we go. We've got our nice breast. The other side. It's a messy, messy situation. This is why you do not want to do this at the table. And I feel like when you do this in the kitchen yourself, you get so much more meat off the bone than if you're trying to carve at the table. Really at the table, you're just gonna be able to get some nice slices of breast, but then there's so much meat on there that you're gonna have to take it back to the kitchen anyway. There we go. And we have successfully taken all the pieces off. You can use that carcass for a delicious stock, turkey soup, but that is it, and it is quite a mess. But it's gonna look really beautiful when we put it all on the platter. So it's really not that hard. Just take your time, just be methodical about it, take each piece off on its own, and then you'll be done. So we're just gonna clean this up a little bit, then we're gonna slice the pieces and platter it. All right, everything's cut up. We're going to just cut it up a little further so our guests can eat it easily. I generally like to start with the leg and thigh. I'll cut off the drumstick from the thigh. Again, you're looking for that joint. Always look for the joint, and then you can just go right through. Super easy. If you have a lot of people that like dark meat, you can take that bone out of the thigh. It's just one big bone right here. You can feel it. And you just really want to cut right along that bone. And then you're just gonna scrape the meat from the sides. Keep your fingers out of the way. Try not to cut all the way through so you can then slice it. So that thigh bone will just come right out. Then you can flip her over and you have one nice big piece of dark meat. I like to kind of keep these on the bottom because they're not as pretty as the breast. Just give it a slice so people can easily eat it. Then you can just use your knife to pick it up. Then I usually like to lay the leg so it kind of covers the not brown part of the thigh. And take the other thigh and do the same thing. So we're just gonna cut right here, separate, find that joint, cut right through. Take out that bone. All right. There's really no rhyme or reason for where to put things. You can move things around afterwards. Just gonna separate the drumette and the flat. Always looking for that joint. Part everybody loves, the breast. So I usually I don't try to go too thin with this because you're just gonna tear the skin and it's gonna get ragged. I do them a little thicker. Try to keep as much skin on there as possible. We're gonna go back and garnish all of this with herbs, so any spots you don't like, you can cover up. Usually I like to put like one of each thing at either end of the tray, just in case it's in the middle of the table, people can grab it easily. And I always try to choose a platter that's pretty big. You run out of room really quickly. It also gives you an opportunity to use some pretty garnishes. But that is looking pretty good turkey-wise. That looks delicious. You get all the beautiful brown skin. Everything looks crispy, seasoned. Now we're gonna go into garnishing. When it comes to garnishing, I really like to use edible garnishes. I don't really like when people put things on the plate that you can't eat. Obviously, you're not gonna eat a whole sprig of sage, but another thing I like to do is use things that I've used in the recipe. So, you know, on the inside I have sage and thyme. I did a little bit of oregano, some rosemary. I also used citrus. So what I did this morning is I went ahead and I just like seared off the citrus. It gives it kind of a nice roasty flavor. Also, if somebody doesn't want to use gravy, they can squeeze a little bit of this over their turkey and it's delicious. And if I am going to use something that is not in the recipe, I really like simple things you can get at the grocery store, depending on the season. Today I got figs and some of these little grapes. They're just really pretty, and you know, if somebody wants to nibble on them, they can. I really like to use a variety of color if I can. So the orange, the yellow, the green, the red from the grapes. It's all really beautiful because you eat with your eyes first. I also did a little bit of roasted garlic because I used that in the turkey cavity as well. And actually when I was roasting the turkey, I just kind of set it alongside in a little bit of tin foil so that when you're done, you have some nice roasted garlic that you can squeeze onto a piece of bread. So now I'm gonna just garnish, and you don't have to get crazy. It doesn't have to look like a photo of a magazine. You know, I'm just gonna start off with a little bit of herbs. This sage is really, really pretty. I might just take a little bit of those guys and just kind of like tuck them around. It's not rocket science. You're just kind of using your eye. I like things a little bit off center, not too even. You know, so I might do another one over here. I also generally like things in odd numbers, 3s, 5s, things like that. But you're just kind of getting an overall look of things. We're gonna use a little bit of the citrus in there too. Use whatever you have available. It doesn't have to be crazy Martha Stewart farmer's market stuff. Just whatever's in season or what you get at the grocery store. All right, I'll throw a few figs on this. Grapes? Let's see. You guys live there. Yeah, that's pretty. I think I'm done. I think she's ready. I think she's ready for the table. You've labored over her for hours. It's taken a long time, but she's ready. So hopefully after watching this, you're ready to take on a turkey of your own. You're not scared about carving. Just take it easy, do it in the kitchen away from everybody, and enjoy it. You can find a million turkey recipes on NYT Cooking, and I hope everybody has a happy holiday.